Alright, we are back, and what a crazy month it has been. June has been easily one of the busiest months of real estate we've had over the past couple of years. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Alex Hughes with the North Pacific Homes Group here in Victoria. Welcome to our channel. If you do know who I am, welcome back. We try to get as much content out as possible. Today we're doing a monthly market update. We try to do other videos such as tips and tricks for both buyers and sellers, various neighborhood guides, and property tours. Like I said, today we are going to be focusing on the Victoria Real Estate June monthly market update. We had 761 properties sell. That was 15% higher than June of last year. Of those properties sold, we had 409 single family homes sell. That's a 17% increase from last year. And condos came in at a staggering 239 properties sold, which was a 23% increase from June of last year. Active listings came in at just shy of 3,800. That's a 9% increase from June of last year. In terms of pricing in Victoria, single family benchmark pricing came in just over 1.3 million, which was relatively the same as May, but 2.3% increase from June of last year. Condos came in at the mid 500s, 562, and it was actually about a percent decrease from June. Now, although when you look at year to date and even over a year, we are seeing that there is a slight increase in the Victoria real estate benchmark across the board pricing. However, each area is going to operate quite differently. Some areas are significantly higher and some areas are in fact decreasing. Now, if you look at this chart here, you'll notice that we've broken it up into the core, into the peninsula, and in the Westshore. And if we start off with the core, which is going to be the city of Victoria, Esquimalt, Oak Bay, and Saanich, you can see near the beginning of the year we saw this slight uptick and a relatively balancing off now. Look at the peninsula. That's going to be central Saanich, Sydney, North Saanich. Relatively stable throughout the beginning of the year, but now we're starting to see quite the significant increase. And the Westshore, Langford, View Royal, Colwood, Souk, relatively stable throughout the year, and the opposite of Peninsula, it is dropping. Now, there are a variety of factors as why we're starting to see this price decrease happening in the Westshore. Now, I'm sure if you've been following the news or if you've been living in Victoria for a while, you know that Langford has been one of the fastest growing communities in Western Canada for a while now. The previous mayor and the government really had a build it and they will come mentality. They pushed ahead all of these projects, and now all of those projects are coming to fruition. So we have a lot of new builds on the market that are competing with, of course, all of the resale inventory as well. Now, when we have more inventory across the board, you can see that the core and the peninsula are considered more desirable areas to live in Victoria. And we have more inventory, more opportunities for buyers to get in. They generally will stop looking in the Westshore area and kind of move their search in town. So that's where you're seeing these inverse relationships from the Westshore going down, the core remaining relatively stable, and the peninsula going up. Victoria's market is showing a healthy balance. We got a good amount of inventory, we got a great amount of demand, and prices are remaining relatively stable. For you buyers out there, you got quite a few options. You can go out. You don't have as much competition because there's more to choose from. You can negotiate a bit on your price. You can get a conditional offer, do your due diligence, make sure that you're protected. On the flip side of that, as a seller, yeah, you do have more competition out there right now. However, the demand is there as well. If you price your home effectively, you're gonna get buyers and you're gonna get your home sold. It's also nice to see the rebound of condos coming back into the market. There's a variety of reasons which we think this is happening. A lot of this has to do with all of the exemptions that have come through in the last year or so. Property transfer tax exemption for new buyers. GST exemptions have now been instated for all new buyers, or first-time home buyers, I should say, up to $1 million. This saves people a significant amount of money, and it's helping them to get into the market. Now, the driving forces behind the market that we're seeing sound like a broken record, but increased inventory rates, right? That really helps us. The Bank of Canada seems to be relatively stable. This is giving buyers more confidence that we're not going to see massive surpluses or decreases in the overnight policy rate. Everything that we're reading, Bank of Canada should be holding the next one. Of course, nobody knows until it happens, but that's giving buyers more confidence into the market. We got a strong local economy, our health, our tech sector, that's bringing people in and keeping that demand up. And new construction is hitting the market. When you look at the active listings, when you have new construction versus our active listings, it makes up about 11%. Now that's the highest we've seen in the last 5 years, or excuse me, second highest in the last 5 years. And that's giving people more opportunity to get in because of that GST exemption that I mentioned for first-time home buyers. Up to $1 million, they're getting that GST exemption. So $1 million, that's $50,000 saved. So it makes those properties more enticing, and it's getting those first-time home buyers out from the sidelines and into the market. What do we foresee happening in the summer here? Well, Bank of Canada has another announcement coming up. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I'll see if I'm right. I think they're going to hold. Nobody knows until the day of though, but you guys can call me out if I don't get it right. With the summer as well, it always leads to decreased activity, people going on vacation, getting away for a bit, relaxing. So we will see that activity drop, which means if you are a seller, you're needing to get your property sold, anticipate needing to sharpen your pencils to get it done during this time of year. For buyers, smart offers will always win. Getting all of our due diligence done as much as possible prior to submitting that offer. And that's not necessarily the property itself, but making sure that we're getting pre-approved, we know what our limits are with the bank, so we can go in, get our best foot forward, and get you that property. And that's everything I have for you folks today. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you guys liked this video. If you did like it, give us a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It makes us feel like we're actually giving out content that you find informative and helpful. And if you want, my contact info will be down below. You can contact me. My personal cell phone, direct link to me, will be right down there for you. Thanks so much for watching.